wanna do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you wanna do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast.
Come? Alright, I'll do my own bit for myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it. Get off the road.
Hey Dave,
Hey, Boater.
what do you get when you combine a rhetorical question and a joke? Hello everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. I'm Boater. I know we audio tested, David.
What? I was trying to figure out the
It'll get to you. It'll get to you. Welcome. Let's try that again. I'm Boater.
I'm Dave, man.
We've got a fair amount of stuff to get to tonight, but yeah, welcome to Nerd Glasses. We had a great time with Insane Games live right before this with Jackson, getting some great plays in Fortnite. The Tuesday crew, the Cruise Day is shaping up, so I'm having a great time. And now we've got a ton of stuff for you tonight, as well as something that should be interesting on the Citadel. But first, here on Nerd Glasses, let's go with a Twitch ban. It's a quick one. Quick one today. Not a quick ban. It wasn't a 1 day, 3 day, anything like that. It's I believe it's an indeterminate ban, not permanent, but indeterminate. Whatever. And this is Just a Minx, who I believe I feel like has come up before. I tried to figure out the context, and the name sounds familiar. I'm not sure what context she's come up before. Banned for saying the synonym for a saltine that we talked about a few weeks ago,
Okay.
a word that Twitch considers to be a racial slur, and uttering it gets you banned. And just the latest person to do it. Someone heard of all this and said, well, it can't be that bad. I'm going to say, and sure enough, out they go. So
How are people? Anticos Prime. First of all, thank you so much for the sub. But indeterminate, so they decide to enforce the rules on a whim again. Yeah.
well, also, like, if there's the precedent now for this is gonna get you banned, all it takes is one viewer in bad faith to report the person, and then immediately gone.
Just
Oh yes, the screaming Irish lady.
why must people?
Sounds familiar?
Boater, when man first learned the simplest of things, fire hot, cliff fall kill oog, why must then second person discover fire hot if you put your hand in it for more than 3 seconds? Or cliff only deadly for oog if oog fall all way down cliff? People, there are people like me out there to learn and do things the hard way so that you don't have to do it. So stop it. Quit it.
It's science. How far can you push the button before it bites you back?
The basics. Fire equals hot and people equal dumb. Yes.
If one person said, "Ugh, touch fire, fire hot," if everyone just accepted that, I feel like it is to the benefit of society that we say, "How hot? How much hurt? Oh, that hot, that hurt." What do with hot now?
How much say saltine word get banned?
And look yummy. What do with food? So yeah, I mean, I can't justify it here. It's been well tested, but it is what it is. That's our ban for this week. Just a Minx for saying something that comes after the word gram or saltine or goldfish or whatever. So
You dumb, you played a stupid game, you won a stupid prize.
so we'll see when she's back. That's her second ban. But she'll probably be back pretty soon. So that being someone who over the past 7 days was unable to play games on Twitch, what is coming out over the next 7 days that we will be able to play on Twitch or off?
Super excited for these titles that are coming out, and a bit of a warning for one of them. But let's Steve, let's get Nerd Vision queued up. We'll get it warmed up. Sacrifice the things that need to be sacrificed, because we're looking here first at a title. It's an FPS, so it's right under Boater and Mai's things. It's called Crossfire X.
Will you get caught up in the crossfire?
You know, that's all I could think of. Really. But I got really thrown off because, do you know, you try to Google this game.
Date yourself.
But as it turns out, there's, a lot of computer parts under the name of Crossfire.
Yeah.
So this game just gets absolutely buried underneath things for that. But as you can see, this game is very exciting to both you and I. The visuals you're seeing of the game itself are showing off that is a Counter-Strike style game with rounds, online free to play, which I know what you're thinking, Boater. That's not my game. I'm not really in for it.
Okay.
But this game is coming out on the 10th with an interesting other part that you can purchase on the Xbox, the Series X, the S, and for Microsoft, a campaign mode that was handled by our good friends at Remedy Games.
Huh.
And they were specifically chosen to do this, not sequel, but continuation in the line of Crossfire games. The story that we have been told so far is it is a war between two PMCs, the Blacklist and the Global Risk.
Okay.
What Remedy has chosen to do with that basic framework and these FPS gameplay, graphics, guns, and things like that, I don't know. But I will say there are definitely some supernatural elements implemented into it, and that makes this game a maybe get in the near future for me, and possibly some more Citadel fodder for Boater.
Does the campaign have co-op?
No.
Damn it.
No, it does not. It's a single-player campaign only.
Okay. But like having Remedy do it means that it's not just going to be like a throwaway thing to value add onto the free multiplayer. It's going to be a respectable thing on its own rate. So cool.
So that's Crossfire X coming to the Series X, the Series S, and Windows. This next franchise has been out since the Stone Ages, and everyone is very excited for it because it is the first release, the first main stage release on a Nintendo console. It is Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 Remix, 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, and Kingdom Hearts 3 and Remind.
Okay.
Each of those three things that I listed, the pairings and the single units, can be purchased for $34.99 on the Switch starting on the 10th, or you can purchase all of them for $90.
All right, save $15.
Now,
sorry, don't mind the faces. That was just my oh no, Kingdom Hearts subtitles are coming.
So, Kingdom Hearts, a franchise that has been well lived out, and boo, Cloud Strife version. And it's Claus Prime. I like your funny words, Magic Man. This is interesting because it's the first mainline Kingdom Hearts to be released on a Nintendo console at all, and you're getting all of them.
Okay. Okay, nice.
The drawback is, just like Hitman and just like Control, when it came out when it's coming out for the Switch, comes out for the Switch, it is going to be cloud-based only.
Oh, okay.
And it is because, well, flatly, optimizing it for the Switch would have taken much longer than it did currently. And they thought to themselves, no, this seems right. The file sizes would have been absurd. And then to figure out what to put on cartridges and what to put digitally and how to do these things. I do like that on the titles themselves, in Nerd Vision you're seeing, they do just say cloud version.
Okay.
So it's a risk because you won't be able to play Kingdom Hearts on the train, or say at the break room at your job if you don't work with someone with good internet.
Or if for some reason the cloud gaming service goes down, meaningful look exchanged. Talk about that later.
Yep, that is the thing that befalls many things, and especially if you purchase any games digitally on something that runs as let's just say consistently as Nintendo, where in a couple years from now they will tell you you have moved on from this and you won't play it anymore. We're taking it away.
I mean, like the better way to look at that is that if it's cloud-based, then if their cloud solution carries forward onto the next console, then you can still play it because it doesn't matter what console it's on if it can stream video
Yes.
in and controls out.
Yes.
So that is, if done right, that is promising. But because like Nintendo's online offerings have always been kind of like second rate. No, I don't know what word I'm looking for exactly. They seem more of an afterthought than
they definitely
Xbox
don't get
and
the
PlayStation.
sparkle that the mainline games get. The online exclusives, we talk to you about them on our program. Steve has all of them on his. We use Switches, GameCubes, and things like that. But that's about it. Subpar, says Anticlaus Prime.
Video game preservation? Pff, it's not even a preservation thing. It's a being able to play the thing that you paid for thing.
And first of all, I like that Steve put it in, by the way, as Kingdom Farts on the Stream Deck. And this last one, Steve, which trailer is it?
Because we just. Because we send Steve the.
It's number 4.
Okay, we send Steve the trailers, and then he doesn't always label them as intuitively as we can figure out.
No. We send Steve a message asking him to find the trailers.
Fair.
So we put all of the onus on Steve to do all of the work, and then we're now on air throwing rocks.
Thank you, Steve.
In glass houses.
It's your fault. Thank you.
What's going on, Akai? Welcome. Exclamation point Steve in chat. We need to get on every single stream and demand an exclamation point Steve. We have it over on DAM 314. And I'm pretty sure we have it on the Weekend Wednesday Discord, and you want it on your local Insane Games TV. Hell yeah. This last trailer, it's really exciting, Boater. It's going to change gaming as we know it, and it's looking like a great thing for the future of gaming and stuff. Boater, get down. Boater, get down.
What?
Turn off the Xbox. Turn off the PlayStations. Cover the windows. We moved out. Nobody tell anybody. Oh, God.
Oh, hey!
Oh, God.
It's Dynasty Warriors Empires.
Oh.
Which was labeled on here as Age of Empires. Thank you, Steve.
Oh, God. Is it gone yet?
No.
It's still playing? Oh, the
Dave,
horror.
why don't you talk about it?
Oh, God. People, better get down here. They're gonna think we're home, and that we have video game systems.
Oh, hey, come on in. We'd love to hang out with you.
No! Don't invite them into the house!
Yeah. Oh, you brought cookies. Yeah, please, come on in. We were just about to have dinner.
You people have been warned.
Have a seat. Make yourself at home. Grab something from the fridge.
Starting on the 15th, it's going to be infecting Nintendo Switches, PlayStation 4 and 5s, Xbox Series X's and S's and Xbox Ones, and your local Windows consoles. I know. But be careful and be wary. It's coming, and it's coming for your gameplay time and sanity! Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires.
Nothing like a bit of Dynasty Warriors with friends to really have just good, clean family fun.
To ruin an entire franchise. Worst, and no one can tell me otherwise, because I won't be buying it.
You will.
Worst.
It's going to be a St. Jude incentive.
It might be a St. Jude incentive, but I'm not buying it because it murdered my family.
Make sure you're buying it then.
It murdered my family, and I shan't
Hey, Dave, I brought over a friend. Oh, sure, who is it? Empires just walks in the door like, hey, I guess I missed one.
But the Empire is coming on the 15th, and you have now been warned, and I'll warn you again next week. So that's all the games that are coming out in the next 7 days that caught my attention, things like that. But folks at home, if we miss anything out, bans, games coming out, stories, we would love for you to take part in our podcast every week live here on Insane Games TV by participating in chat, but also working with us on the Instagram and the Discord down below. We would love to hear your stories. We would love to hear your takes on these things. Make your voice heard.
Dave, what have you been playing the last 7 days? What's been in your proverbial disc tray? Even though none of the current, I definitely say proverbial, none of the current consoles have a tray.
Well, in the last 7 days, I'll do a short list. I played Madden 20 for my Madden League. My Pittsburgh Steelers won. Way to go, Kirky. My Pittsburgh Pirates in MLB The Show 21 were able to advance into the playoffs of the Playmaker MLB League. My Rock-type gym from the Dreamers Pokemon League made it to the first round of the finals. Steve, was it the first round of the finals or the second round of the finals?
I've been out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, Steve.
He's not paying attention.
So they made it. Excuse me. My Rock-type gym players made it further into the finals, and I'm really excited about that. My Yu-Gi-Oh! League deck continues to just absolutely blow. So I'm fully eliminated from making it into the Duelist Kingdom. I finished the season with 2 of a potential 10 starships. I won 2! So I'm feeling pretty good about that, considering that Yu-Gi-Oh! Immediately gives me a migraine headache, and I am too dumb for that game. But outside of all that, a whole lot of Pokemon Arceus.
Pokemon Legends.
We took a vote on it on stream. It's Arceus. And I'm really looking forward to finishing up the campaign tomorrow on the weekend, Wednesday, and then doing some more good old-fashioned Pokedex grind.
Yeah.
That, and then playing some Valheim with Love Alec and the Garnted Cult and related folks from Love Alec's community as well.
Nice.
So a whole lot of gaming, whole lot of loving. And how about you?
Last night I got together with a few friends. I mentioned that I got an Oculus Quest. I've been playing VR games. I mentioned Walkabout Mini Golf before. Yeah. Last night we played a game called Demio that I'm actually going to show because it's a little hard to really describe how cool it is. This, after the little skit that intros it, just does a pretty good job of showing it. Cool shirt, Boater. Thank you, More Like Rigor Mortis. It's available up in the merch store. Your check's in the mail. Actually, your shirt was in the mail. I know you've got it by now. Demio is really neat. We had 4 people, and it's a mix between like playing D&D or like a board game like that, where you gather around a table, you have your little minis that you're able to move around the grid, fighting enemies. You can flip your hand over, and it shows an array of cards in front of you. You can, I'm playing the mage. Let me fireball, and I'll drop that right here. I need to make that attack. Let me grab a die, roll it across the table. It is so cool.
So let me just ask you flatly. Pardon to interrupt your flow. How accurate are what we're seeing to how the plays?
It's pretty much like that. Like when she flipped it over and grabbed a card, you drop it like that, and your little figure on there. It doesn't go a cutscene or anything like that, but your figure on the table will cast the fireball, or will turn around and try to stab someone, or hey, you rolled a miss, so they're going to attack a random square around it. The squishy-ass mage, was killed by one of our bards because he missed his target and killed me instead. And you can like zoom out and look at it at like a table scale and say, yeah, I saw that down there. Or you can like pull it in and be like down there with everything, so that subjectively the pieces are like this high, and you're like, this is so cool, wandering through. It was a lot of fun.
Molek Rigor Mortis wants to know, can it be played with people who aren't in the same area?
Yeah, so I was playing it with my friend who was in Connecticut and his siblings, one of which is in Virginia and the other of which I'm not even sure. So the four of us were just like from all over, just kind of hanging out, doing this together. Like that shows everyone around a table wearing quests and like, hey, how's it going? When you clearly can't see other people. But it's very much like it works very well remotely. So like it has at the moment 3 campaigns in it, which have multiple boards. It took us 2 hours to clear one board. At which point, after clearing the board, we were able to save, and then we can pick it up another time, like it's a D&D campaign. So it was a lot of fun.
This looks cool as hell.
I think it was $30 on the Quest store, and absolutely worth it. It's the most I've paid for an Oculus game yet, but like compared, well, okay, I probably spent more than that on Beat Saber by now with DLC packs, but still.
That doesn't count. That's all.
That's DLC. That doesn't count. Yeah, so a lot of fun. That actually sounds like a great way to do virtual D&D together. Yeah, so it's not exactly. It's kind of like I guess I would say more like a board game where you have a deck of cards for your class right here.
Yeah.
As you play and kill stuff, you get experience so that when it tops out, you get to draw another card.
Yeah.
Like you have a basic attack, then you have bigger attacks that you can do there. Yeah, and it really did feel like that. It's okay. I have a movement of 6. When I attack, I do 2 damage, but if I crit, I do 5. And
nice.
All right, this giant spider has 6 hit points. So if I hit and then I crit, it goes down. Said one of our bards, and then he missed and hit me instead. So
did he crit you though?
Huh?
Did he crit you?
No,
though?
he didn't. It's miss, hit, and crit is all that's on the die. You throw a d12, and there's like 1 spot for miss and 1 spot for crit, I think. So for someone who plays D&D on Roll20, it's nice to see some pretty damn nifty options. Yeah, like let me stress that this isn't Dungeons and Dragons, but it does have that flavor of getting together with friends and playing something that's flavored like that. So it doesn't use D20 SRD or anything like that at all, but it still has that feel of like playing a fantasy board game together.
That's really cool. So for example, let me just ask you,
Yeah.
if I'm interested in playing this game, what do I need to buy to be able to start playing it?
It is, I don't know what platforms it's on. I've been everyone that was playing it in my group, 3 of us had a Quest 2 and 1 person had a Rift. I don't know if it's out on like PSVR. I don't know if it's out on like Steam. The Quest 2 is at the moment the cheapest way to get a VR headset, and they are relatively easy to come by, especially when you look at consoles like Xbox and PlayStation and stuff.
Yeah.
It is a self-contained console. Its battery life is roughly 2 hours, but in this game, I was just sitting there, so I was able to keep the headset plugged in and getting juice the whole time, so I didn't run out of battery while we were playing. It is on Steam as well. Thank you, everybody. More like Hero Quest. I haven't played Hero Quest. I think, though, from what I vaguely remember of it, I think you're right. It's a little more like that. Miss Hit and Crit is my Drag Nerd Burlesque name. I love it. Yeah, so that's Demio or Demio. But it was really cool, and I look forward to continuing the adventure because again, we were able to save. We carried over what cards we made it to the end with. We were able to spend our gold that we'd gathered and got more cards to start the next board with. And at one point, it's like, all right, cool. We've killed these things, and someone's like, I'm gonna go open this door. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. It wasn't a good idea.
The classic tale of any RPG.
And it's interesting, and then all of a sudden, enemies that we hadn't seen at all started wandering into our area. They weren't waiting for us to come to them. As long as they could move through a door, they were like, I smell adventures.
Yeah.
Looks like meat's back on the menu!
That sounds awesome.
So, that's Demio or Demio. I think it's Demio, but yeah. Great time. So that's what I've been playing.
Nice.
That's what I played last night. In addition, I've been playing stuff that I've talked about a whole bunch already. Mass Effect 3, Control, and doing some Lego building on stream instead of Horizon Zero Dawn. March will finally see the Steam release of Battle Sister VR. I'm not aware of
A
that. I will have to.
a Warhammer 40K property
Oh, okay.
about the army, the Sisters of Battle, righteous heroines that descend from the heavens to kill heretics and aliens and just in general kick just a whole bunch of ass, and not look stupid doing it.
Nice.
Let me put it to you that way.
Very cool.
Grim Dark Space Nuns. That's very much
Well,
like,
anything Warhammer 40K is going to start with Grimdark Space, and good to know that the missing noun is nuns.
that game's going to be awesome.
Um,
Oh
watching anything interesting?
I made sure to get on the entirety of the last episode of Boba Fett.
Yep.
Didn't stop like, 3/4 of the way in and then forget to watch the rest of it. And miss Danny Trejo's debut.
Yeah, like I don't have too much to say on it. Not like the previous episode, but I mean, I still really enjoyed it.
What? You don't have too much to say about it.
Well, okay, fine, I do, but we only have a 1-hour show. I want to
So-
talk about how I really want to see Ahsoka meet Luke and be like, "Hi, I was your dad's Padawan," and he's like, "I'm sorry, he had a what?" He's like, "I know, R2, what's up?" And R2 like, "What's up, Ahsoka?" But I want to see that. I hope we get to see it in her series.
You know what I really can't wait to see? More Cad Bane.
Yeah.
That guy's gonna kill so many people and not look any bit happy about it.
Yeah, like so I was talking with my friend Brian as I was watching through the second time, and it's like the opening scene where takes on the syndicate and just really quick pew, 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 think fast. Think hard about what you're doing. And then shows when he's outdrawn by Cad Bane, makes it even more badass. Useless deputy sitting there.
That useless deputy caused that combat, by the way.
I mean, it probably would have happened without him, but you know.
But I do think
Well, it's he didn't help because all of a sudden Vanth had to worry about him too, and his attention was split.
spoiler alert, he doesn't have any more because that deputy, he definitely both shot the sheriff and killed the deputy.
Oh my god.
Yep. Don't know how people didn't pick up on that one a lot more because he did shoot the sheriff, but Cad Bane also killed the deputy. Bob Marley is rolling over in his grave the second that happened.
Let's see. The last bit that I definitely want to say is, after the first scene with Luke and Grogu, and he's like, let's go for a walk, and Grogu kind of hops along, as Luke's lifting him with the Force so he can keep up. About 2 minutes later, Ahsoka looks to Din and says, "Let's go for a walk," and I'm like, "Please, wee!"
I think knowing Ahsoka and knowing Ahsoka's experiences with the warriors of Mandalore and the culture, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was less of a wee and more of a yeet. You have a jetpack? I didn't bring it. Oh, no.
Sounds like a you problem.
So, looking forward to this episode.
The finale tomorrow. Which
Is it
for
the
some
finale?
reason, I thought that it was going to be an 8-episode season, but my friend is saying, it's that tomorrow's the finale. So I guess I can always fact check right now. I have the internet.
For those of you watching Book of Boba Fett, what do you guys think? Why are you watching it? Why aren't you watching it? Did you start tuning in and then just lost interest? How have you liked the last couple of episodes, which are a takeaway from the format that we had in the previous episodes and things like that? Anticos Prime, in regards to the Bob Marley, what the rules? You can't have both.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 7-episode season.
Nice.
Interesting. So it's going to come to a finale tomorrow, but unless it's long, I don't see them tying up everything. They're going to leave a lot open for season 2 or for Mandalorian season 3 or both and really get a big interwoven cinematic universe thing going, kind of how, Marvel has been doing for a long time.
Anticlaus Prime and More Like Rigor Mortis both saying that they did not want to give Disney their moulala, which is fair.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I do understand that.
And
yeah.
I will just say, if I were to cancel my Disney Plus, a lot of people would lose Disney Plus. So I'm going to continue to pay that $6.99, $7.99 a month.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't remember how much it was, but it's less than $10, and
yeah. You can have my money instead, Insane Games. Thank you, More Like Rigor Mortis.
Woohoo!
Send us your Disney money.
Don't say that out loud, though, because soon we'll just have, well, Mr. Shevlin, I can't help but notice you got,
that's all my money.
You got $6 over there, and I just, it's gonna do me, all right?
Of course, when I say give me your Disney money, all of a sudden it sounded like, oh, are you going on vacation? That cash is mine. Give me those plane tickets, those reservations. Give me that Disney money. I don't even have Netflix. I'm too old for subs outside of Twitch. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, it was, we ended up dropping Hulu because, we upgraded our, we upgraded our Netflix. And then the cost of Amazon Prime is going up, from 120 to 140. And we do watch enough video on Prime. There's the new Critical Role series that came out last week that we haven't gotten to, but that we are going to watch, that, we are still paying that as well. So apologies to, my, bookseller friends, but I have an Amazon Prime account. Please don't come for me. Okay, so I get a face full of drink. Let's go on to really quick NFT roundup. How's that sound?
Sure.
Itch.io is a marketplace for indie games. Really great for creators. They're kind of like the darling in the indie scene right now. It's easy to publish on Itch.io. And they released a statement on Twitter saying, a few have asked about our stance on NFTs. NFTs are a scam. If you think they are legitimately useful for anything other than the exploitation of creators, financial scams, and the destruction of the planet, then we ask that you please reevaluate your life choices. Peace. With the emoji. Just straight up. All of this is happening? Yeah, here's our stance. They suck. You don't got to worry about it from us. Ubisoft. Go ahead.
Fair.
Yeah. Ubisoft, meanwhile, doubling down. We've talked about how their NFTs in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, that they're referring to as digits, have flopped really hard. But they just trying to keep on trying to make digits happen. They have gifted digits to the development team of Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Oh God! Way to poop on your employees and then kick them while they're laying on the ground.
The game came out 2 years ago and bombed, and the devs have put in so much work to get that to a point where they had goodwill. Then Ubisoft comes down and it's like, put NFTs in the game. I don't know if that wasn't a request. And all that goodwill is gone again. And then the overlords are like, you're doing very good. Here's some bullshit that kills the planet. Have fun with that. What do you mean you don't have a crypto wallet? Well, you can. Just saying.
I wonder if you work in that company, were you able to trade your NFTs you were given to that one asswipe in the office for their PS5? Like, hey man, you want more of my cryptocurrency? You can have it. I just want your doorstop and that keyboard and that sandwich you're eating. I want it.
Give me your Disney money. On the other end, World Wildlife Fund are going into NFTs. Why? Hold up. What? Wait, what? Huh? What? Why?
Listen, man, I lost a lot of respect for the World Wildlife Foundation when they sued the World Wrestling Federation and were like, names too similar, can't have that happening. So bad. So bad.
WWF Non-Fungible Animals. WWF-NFA.com. Save endangered species was this thing that kills the Earth and thus the habitat of species. are revolutionizing the art market right now. They enable unique. No! I am so mad. Okay, so more like Rick and Mortis shitting on me rightfully for using Amazon. I use Smile Amazon, Amazon Smile to contribute whatever percent to something else, and it's the entire time I've been using it. It goes to the World Wildlife Fund. As long as they're doing this, it's going to something else. I don't know what yet. It's gonna be something else. They're not getting my Amazon money. No, I'm not adding that site to my home screen.
Show's over. Everyone go home. Everyone's in timeout. Oh God. Thank you, Auntie, for just frazzling Boater for the next 24 to 48 hours. And for
Wait, I
giving
had
us
other
another
notes.
clip of the program.
Dave, tell me about anything that is going to make me feel better about the news and gaming and
Well,
stuff.
Boater, now just
Anti-Klaus Prime, shut your goddamn mouth. We do not want NFTs of the culling.
check your pulse.
Oh, is Stadia still go? Oh no.
Check your pulse.
Hold on. I got to do it on the right side. You're not supposed to go across that. Uh-oh.
Do you feel? I know. Do you
Dave,
feel that trouble?
I don't like where the patient's at right now.
I know. There's some trouble brewing in our little engine that couldn't get past Google. In that, remember last time we talked about Stadia in a big way. We were talking about how Stadia was no longer going to be making software in-house for Stadia.
Yep, they got rid of their in-house studios and would just be working with outside studios.
They are now going to be powering content for Peloton, Bungie, Capcom, and a couple other people that have contracts with Google.
Yep.
And workings with them to do these things.
So they're doing more like back-end type stuff.
They're doing more what's technically called white tag work, where they do all the back-end things, and then once it gets published to Capcom, they just brush over and you know what's even worse about this though? It's no longer called the Stadia team, it's now the Google Stream team.
Yeah.
So Business Insider were the ones that kind of broke this story, and they were talking about it. And I have a quote from Business Insider for this. But current and former employees said that the priority was now on proof of concept work for Google Stream and securing white label deals. One estimated about 20% of the focus was on the consumer platform.
So in other words, what we all think of as Stadia, the gaming platform for streaming games, is not the focus of the formerly Stadia team. And this is just one more nail in the coffin. We were talking about these people that buy games, and it's through you have nothing physical. It's not even on your hard drive. When that service goes down, it goes down. And we've talked at length about Google's propensity to just shut something down that isn't immediately profitable. Microsoft ran a loss for basically the entire first generation of Xbox, and look where they are now. And Google isn't willing to do that. They also don't have a killer app like Halo. They have a lot of great games, but they're all cross-platform things. It's like, oh, hey, this is also going to Stadia. That's really cool. Really cool. And they have nothing that is only Stadia that is going to bring people in. And without that, and without really sticking to it and saying, okay, we are going to give this 5 years to succeed, Stadia is not long for this world. I mean, it's still running. They haven't said that they're going to discontinue it, and Stadia issued a statement in response that says they're still going to do things, and they're still looking out for consumers, and I really am sorry for both of the Stadia users.
Yeah, sorry, Vladdy, because I bet you're one of them. I'm willing to bet. He bought the Ouya. He probably bought Stadia. But the good news is if a Ubisoft game comes out in the next calendar year, it's damn sure going to be on Stadia but they can join the 5 Wii U users. The Wii U will rise again! Nintendo's greatest console. We'll talk about that on another program.
How many sales did the Wii U get over its lifetime?
They released that number.
Actually we'll go on a tangent here because I do have some news as far when it comes to lifetime sales of consoles.
No, that's the Switch.
No, that's the Switch.
Yes, I'm looking for. There was a really
because
nice...
I saw the Wii, I didn't see Wii U.
There was a really nice infographic as distributed.
Oh my!
The Wii U. So, as of the 30th of September 2021, Nintendo Switch has sold 92.87 million pieces of hardware and things.
They've sold. That's the 30th of September.
Yes.
As of December, so the reason this story broke, and we'll go back and we can compare some of these numbers because they really won't have changed. As of December, Nintendo announced that the Switch has surpassed the Wii in lifetime sales. Up to now, before this report came out on December 31st, the Wii had the most sales at 101.63 million. The Switch surpassed that with 103.54 million as of December 31st.
Yes, I finally found Nintendo's released infographic for the meetings. In its lifetime, the Wii U sold 13.56 million units.
That is an order of magnitude less. And it's interesting to compare because, like, you can say, oh, well, the Switch sold more than the Wii, so it's more popular. However, keeping in mind that the Switch is also a handheld system. The Nintendo 3DS sold about 76 million, but if you take all the DS stuff together, that sold 154 million. So, like, it hasn't outsold the portable, that whole generation of portable systems, and it hasn't outsold portable and home console together. But considering how hard they are to come across, and I saw someone point out too that with a Switch, a lot of people are getting software for it. Whereas with the Wii exploded into non-gamer households, but very few of those households played more than Wii Sports.
The Wii Sports, Boater. It's called the
Wii Sports. The bowling on the
Wii.
The
bowling game.
The bowling on the Wii machine.
The boxing game that I broke my husband's clavicle playing.
And also Wii Fit. A fair amount of people got that. But so that was kind of an aside because that was news that came out this week talking about those sales. But yeah, Stadia. Yeah, I think by this time next year, cloud gaming on Stadia will be done.
So you're saying February 2023.
Yeah, February 2023. I think they will have shut down or announced what date they will be shutting down by.
It'll either be in the ground or it'll be getting marched to the ground while Google goes, I don't really care about your work.
Yeah, it'll either be gone or they will have announced its sunset date where, like, it will, after April 30th or something like that.
Fair. I'm not willing to hazard a guess. By this summer, I'll have a guess as to when they're going to shut it down.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, because we'll have heard more news by then. We'll see more of its steady march into the sea.
Oh yeah, because I want to see how those all that work with Capcom and Peloton, considering that they made a game for the Peloton.
Yep.
Good news if you have a Peloton bike, Lane Break. It's a video game you can play on a standing. Just buy a Switch, damn it!
Well, I mean, like, a game for an exercise machine? Like, hell yeah. Like, I honestly...
Ring Fit.
Like, here's my ideal exercise setup is a VR headset on an exercise bike. So that as I'm pedaling, I'm in a race or something like that. It could be a bike or it could be, substituting in for, like, an F1 car or something like that. But, keep this exercise bike, link it to the VR, the faster I pedal, the faster I go. And, with some sort of sensor for being able to, like, lean into turns or whatever. That would be my ideal exercising. But as it is, I'll stick with Beat Saber, which I actually need to start playing again. Off to the Google graveyard. Yep, basically. Or buy a Wii U in jailbreak. I mean, use perfectly legally. I mean, it's perfectly legal to use your own hardware however you desire. But if you plan to pirate, then we cannot condone such actions after you jailbreak.
Naughty.
It's just noting it's
Naughty
a thing that can
pirates. You wouldn't download a car. You wouldn't right-click an image on the internet. I mean, yes, you would and you should. You should start doing that a lot.
I'm gonna right-click so many World Wildlife Fund animals.
Speaking of that, during that chat, it was really weird. Auntie was commenting a bunch of things, but it just had blank spaces. Like he says, now I gotta trigger Dave with, and then it was just blank. I'm really sorry for both the Stadia users. And then he said, wait, hashtag, and then it was just a bunch of spaces, NFTs. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what he was saying there, but Anticlaus Prime, you might want to get your keyboard checked out.
Did he ever actually play that, or was that just where we like utterly confounded him with making him look at it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Played what? I don't.
For everyone who doesn't feel like scrolling through chat, we're talking about the culling.
I have no idea to which we are talking about. I've never heard of that and never been hurt so hard.
Look how hard he's repressing it.
God, and the fact that PUBG's potentially going to that model hurts even more.
Let's. So
I can repeat it if you want me to. No, I'd rather not. But you know what we should talk about? Wildly speculate, because tomorrow,
yes,
Nintendo was nice enough to announce that they're going to support us on Nerd Glasses by having us advertise to you that, hey guys, tomorrow Nintendo's going to be having a Direct. It's going to be starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Auntie, you're smart in maths and can figure out what that means in your time zone. You can watch it on Nintendo's YouTube and Twitch.
11.
And they're going to be talking exclusively about the software that's going to be launching in the first half of 2022.
Interesting.
Let's all wildly speculate as to what that means and what trailers we're going to see. Because here's what I'm just going to say. Arceus DLC. I want it. I deserve it.
I'm going to say what's that? What was the Zelda game that like there's like Light Link and Dark Link and a wolf or something like that? That was out on it was on the Wii, right?
Twilight Princess. Thank you, our producer Steve.
Was it? Was it Twilight Princess? I thought it was.
The wolf was definitely Twilight Princess.
Okay.
Twilight Princess is Anticlaus Prime as well.
Okay, I must be thinking something else because they've already re-released Twilight Princess, right?
No.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Okay, then they're going to announce a re-release of Twilight Princess.
Wait, which is the one with the ship and it's very cartoonish? Wind Waker. That one. That's
I could
the
see,
one that
I could see that. I mean, I'll stick with Twilight Princess just for the sake of having made a guess, but that's probably more likely.
I want Wind Waker. I'll buy it, and I promise Nintendo. I promise, I'll play the entirety of it if you do it. I promise.
I'll hold you to that.
If
you don't do it,
I will play the
I'm
entirety.
unleashing Dynasty.
I will play the entirety of the
you.
campaign of it. I mean, I'll try to 100% it, but I will play through the entirety of the campaign of it.
Wind Waker HD was on Wii U already.
Less work.
Fair.
It's already in HD graphics. They just got.
But that has already had a re-release. Twilight Princess hasn't yet. So.
I will say though.
Yeah, this could go either way.
Wind Waker is more in line with the remasters that they've been doing recently, where they use the more cartoony, toy-ish style.
Yeah.
On previous installments, and me likey, more please.
Yeah, because they recently re-released, what was it, Link Between Worlds, and that looked gorgeous. That looked great, and yeah, kind of had that like cartoony, toy-y look.
So it's going to be exciting. We're going to see what the future holds in Nintendo, and as always, these Link's Awakening, Dude Icarus says.
Thank you.
It's always a fun time. Although we will tell you flatly, do not repost any of the things they do on the Nintendo Direct, because Nintendo's lawyers, literally the second the broadcast ends, just run amok on the internet taking things down.
Yeah. Share it from official sources when you're sharing it on social media, whatever, but don't stream it. Don't cover it in a YouTube video with any of that footage. Um, it's just a different culture with a Japanese company. A YouTuber whose name I forget ran into a lot of problems with I think Toei Animation, and taken down a ton of his videos, talking about shoot, no, not Naruto. A Pokemon series, not no, an anime series, not Pokemon, not Naruto. Yu-Gi-Oh? Maybe.
You you can't throw out the wide net of an anime series.
A really long-running anime series.
One Piece.
Huh?
One Piece.
Might have been it. That might have been that. Yeah, like 3,000. So I ended up getting like 150 copyright strike videos, and it's just YouTube ended up stepping in and like region locking the block, so that because it's fair use in the US and most European countries and it qualifies for fair use there, the video is still visible there. Um, but then it would be blocked in Japan. But then, so that's going by those rules, and the company came back and is going to sue him in Japanese court for using it and profiting off of it, even if it's in other markets. Um, so that's fun. So I guess to loop that back to what we were talking, don't cross Nintendo because they might look at that and also decide to lawyer up.
And there's always a bigger lawyer with Nintendo. Always. So no matter how much of a sure thing you think you have, you don't have a surest of thing. CJ Playmaker joining us. Welcome, sir, saying that he's pretty sure it's DBZ.
Yep, yeah. Demon Dragon also saying Dragon Ball Z. I think you're right. More like Rigor Mortis talking about how with fan fiction, a lot of publishers tend to tolerate it. It's free marketing, but Japanese companies don't. Seems like it's true in publishing, film, and gaming industries. Um, and it's like it's not as bad now, but 5 years ago, you would have to worry about even streaming a Nintendo game, of streaming gameplay of Mario 64 or something like that. A lot like it's getting a lot more acceptable now, but that was still, 5 years ago. Wow, a lot of companies really aren't fans, and they were mostly Japanese companies, whereas Western companies are a lot more. All right, that's marketing for our product, and we do see a bump when someone popular ends up streaming it. So.
More like we're going to saying listening to someone talk equals listening to a podcast with a published author. Well, I mean, both Boder and I are published authors in various mediums and various things, but both of us have had written works published to the public.
I'm self-published.
That counts. That counts, bro.
My movie was accepted to a film festival this past weekend.
Very nice.
Fantasy Short Film Festival. So yee. Rigor Mortis is also a published author. Yes, it's true.
It counts as Hal of Alec.
So, let's see. More Nintendo stuff. One thing that we probably won't hear at the Direct is Nintendo saying, hey, we want in on this acquisition race and we're buying some company. Much the way, Microsoft has been buying stuff. A PlayStation snapped something up. Nintendo said that, no, we're good. They have a couple of development teams in-house that make, their Mario, Zelda, etc. But there's also there's games that you think of as being a Nintendo property that technically aren't. Pokemon is a really great example that it's what can sometimes be referred to as a second party game.
Yeah.
It is only on Nintendo, and Game Freaks, the development studio that does it, gets a lot from Nintendo for making it just for Nintendo. And it's licensed through them, everything like that. But it is not a first party in-house Nintendo property.
Activision Blizzard got a 3-digit check for Activision Blizzard. What do you think it would take?
Well, Activision Blizzard, it was 2-digit millions.
What do you think it would take to get from Nintendo? What do you think? Sony or Microsoft or Disney walks up to them and says,
And says
We
we
want
want
it.
to buy Nintendo.
"No, not Nintendo.
Oh, to buy Game Freaks,
Yes,
for instance.
they want Game Freak. How much do you think? What number do you picture in your head that they would have to offer for it even to be considered?"
I don't know, because as much as like we somewhat we've talked about the Japanese companies not wanting to, not as much supporting fan use of their content, whatever, and we talk about them being a little more traditional. I think that some of that traditional will be there isn't a price tag that then wouldn't also be like, okay, well, if you give me 60 billion and 40 billion of that has to be buying out from Nintendo our ability to do that, or like someone would probably, the thing is, Game Freak could develop for other people, but the Pokemon license, I think Nintendo owns the Pokemon license, because like if you get, merch, whatever, I think it's got Nintendo's logo on it.
Oh, there's 3 companies that hold on to it. So yeah,
Okay, so yeah, the
you wouldn't be able
yeah.
to buy Pokemon.
Yeah, so you could. Thing is, you wouldn't have to like buy them out or anything. You could be, hey, Game Freak, you make games. I want you to make a game for our console, and they probably would. I don't know. I don't know what else they develop other than those mainline Pokemon games. But it's theoretically possible that they could. But you wouldn't be getting Pokemon along with that, because that is owned by the Pokemon Company, which is owned by Game Freak, Nintendo, and a third company. Donkey Kong with Next Level Games points out Dude Icarus. Astral Chain came out. Hold on, Astral Chain. Who developed that? Oh, okay. I liked Astral Chain. But I mean, well, that was also on the Switch. So yeah, that is another game that they made, and it's still on Nintendo. So it's kind of the second party thing. But yeah, to circle back, they've said they are very happy with having a very select bunch of development teams in Nintendo, and then tight relationships just outside of them. They have no desire to look outside of that and be like, hey, come on in and join the family.
Naughty. All right. So other than obviously titles that release cross-platform,
Yep.
but in 2019 they made Little Town Hero, which released onto a bunch of consoles,
Mm-hmm.
Giga Wrecker Alt, and then obviously mobile, which really doesn't count. 2015, Tempo the Badass Elephant. First of all, great.
Tempo the Badass Elephant, published by Sega, came out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows.
But then nothing again until 1999, when they worked with Sony Music Entertainment Japan for a PlayStation game called Click Medic.
Wow.
That's awesome. I'm just saying, Game Freak makes some really good games.
They do, yeah.
But for the love of God, don't ever try to remaster Game Freak's games. Stop it. Pearl is bad and you knew it.
Wow. Wow.
They
have
knew.
Opinions here.
They knew.
Yeah, that's all I've got. That was my last topic, was talking about how Nintendo isn't at all interested in joining the acquisition race.
So I do have a great many topics for things, and I will post links to them. You know what I might just start doing is just posting this in the table
do
topics.
it. Just post
to
the
see
notebook.
if people, first of all, can read my GD handwriting.
Yep, good luck.
And then secondly, if you can get into my what stories we didn't talk about.
Yeah, so tabled topics is in the Discord down below. Make sure you join. Some topics that were missed last week I put in there myself. And yeah, Dave, I'd love if you just take a picture of that and throw that in the Discord.
This and so much more. Folks, we really appreciate you coming out and watching the stream with us, being a part of the Nerd Glasses podcast, and as ever, supporting us here individually at DAM314 and
At
Boaterbug
Boaterbug.
on all platforms. And we really appreciate you being here supporting our endeavors here on Insane Games TV.
Yeah,
Big
thank you.
things are
Come on
happening.
in, make yourself at home, grab a drink, join Dynasty Warriors. It's a big happy family.
Big things are coming, so make sure you get your regular member cards punched now before we're opening for concerts in Times Square and things like that very soon. Very soon.
Times Square is overrated.
But
We'll open on the top of some building.
we're indefinitely excited to have Jackson joining us here on Tuesdays. Luke made an appearance today, the original 2v Tuesdays crew. And Boater, you came up with a great name for the Tuesday crew here on Insane Games TV.
It's the Cruise Day.
I love it, and we're absolutely going to be making a shirt. Steve's working on some of the graphics
We're
now.
gonna make it a thing. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make Cruise Day happen.
And so make sure to remember, folks, on Cruise Day, keep it tuned in here to Insane Games TV. But as all fun things must come to an end, make sure to ring that bell, hit that follow button, so you get notified every time we go live. There is a program coming on next, and Boater, care to splash a little bit about the Citadel?
Yeah, after we go offline here, go ahead, grab a drink, go to the bathroom, whatever you got to do. It's going to take us 5 minutes to move the set over that way and a 10-minute countdown. And when we come back from that, I will be playing a game called Spirit of the North that has been reviewed in the Microsoft Store as beautiful game, boring, waste of money, 3 exclamation marks and a question mark, and good with some jank. So we've got an interesting experience ahead of us here, starting with reading through some of these reviews and then actually getting into the game itself. So I'm excited to do that. Make sure that you're here for Spirit of the North Enhanced Edition on the Citadel starting at 9:15. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching the Nerd Glasses podcast from all of us here, from me, from Dave, and from Steve over in the booth. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.